come up with theory exams where you're just giving a student that what you taught the student, now he can write and give you back.
100%, that's true. That's one thing that I've really seen in the market over the years.
Yes. So we try to work out of, from that, where now we're talking about supporting, mentoring the youth. So what we're going to have is that we'll have a trainer and we'll have the student. So the trainer is given the curriculum and the student is given something called a workbook. So as you train, the student is able to do the assignment. You train and do the assignment. And there's evidence, we need to have evidence all the time, portfolio of evidence. So like, my name is Kevin, today I'll be doing nail technology. So we join you before, and we work with you during, and after we want to see the process. So that when this person leaves that place, you can tell, even given for you to look at the skills, you are able to tell, indeed, this is the student work. Not that he just borrowed the work. So what we changed, now we are changing from the knowledge, assessing only knowledge, but now we assess knowledge and skills. So that if I'm not able to communicate, but I can be able to set up like this kind of graduates you're going to give us.
There's a problem.
There's a problem.
We have a problem. That's true.
Yes.
We really do have a problem. And I'm so interested to know about the dual learning, because if you compare that in the conventional skills, the conventional side of knowledge, let's say a law degree. For you to acquire a law degree, you must go through what we call the pupillage.
Yes.
You know, talk of accountants, talk of auditors, they have to go through a robust internship or attachment for a period of time before they are finally admitted into the workforce of this country. So is this now the dual learning, the equivalent of attachment and internship?
Exactly. Like now we're going to have people will be attached here, especially maybe I'll use the example of journalism as we are here. The young people will be attached here. So they do the training in college. At the same time now they practice here. So that now we are assessing what really the industry is doing. Rather than you wait for them to complete the course, then now you send them to the industry. So they have no opportunity to correct the mistakes that they never covered in the institution. So this one, they're able to correct the mistake while they're still in the institution.
I'd like to believe that even the lecturers in the schools or the institutions are actually people who are in the industry and are active in the industry. I'd like to believe that.
Exactly. Because now we are no longer going to pick up just someone because he finished a degree or he finished he's a trainer. So as much as you're a trainer also, we are so keen on what is your industry experience. In fact, the question we ask before we recruit you, what is your industry experience in the line of your specialization? So we want to see Kevin has been attached to this institution for this number of years as a trainer, first of all. And if the trainer does not have that, the opportunity, there are also people like we look at those people already, the Juakali people already in the industry. They also can become very good lecturers, very good trainers, because they already have the practical knowledge. The only thing they lack is just the know-how. So there's something also we are bringing in called RPL, recognition of prior learning.
That's, oh my goodness. Tell me more.
So recognition of prior learning, this guy has been working in the hotel for the last 20 years. This guy has been working in the journalism for the last 20 years, but he doesn't have a paper. So why can't we assess the knowledge that he has against the curriculum that we have?
100%.
Then now we can now certify that person so that the person now can fit into the industry. Because we're saying that there are so many jobs out there, but people don't have the skills that can address that job.
Someone said something very important the other day. Said a certificate is extremely important only when you don't have it.
Exactly. And I think with the RPL and dual learning, also trying to reduce this notion that I want to buy a certificate so that I just have a certificate. You can earn that certificate going through the process.
Through experience.
Through experience. Yes. And now, like, there's this plumber, there's like, if you have a problem with your vehicle, when you walk to the garage, you don't ask that, where did you train? No.
That's true.
You want your car to be fixed. And you'll be referred. This guy is a great mechanic. You'll solve the problem. So for you want the problem to be solved. And that guy can be a good trainer. even you look at old days, someone could be attached to the uncle who is working somewhere.
Yes.
Then
yes.
he becomes a carpenter.
Yes.
He becomes a cook.
Yes.
Because of the experience. But remember, that guy has not gone to school.
That's true.
So now we just now try to professionalize, so that we bring the element of now professionalism. How do you communicate? Yes. How do you now deal with the customer care?
Yeah.
So that now we can now align what he has and against the industry.
Which brings us to another important point, because we've spoken about internships, we've spoken about attachment, we've spoken about apprenticeship and mentoring and all that, which again, by and large, is an extremely good thing. But again, if you look at it in its fundamentals, we are still putting them into the workforce of some sort of employment environment, right?
Yes.
And this institution, the foundation of it, it's not necessarily employment. Is for people to be self-employed and start their own businesses.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because we are looking at, we want to produce graduates that can go out there and set up industries. People that can create employment opportunity. Because all of us, if all of us were to come and we have a class of probably 100 students graduating from journalism from this college A, and all of them are looking for this opportunity to come and work here, what will happen? All of them will be talking about now, I don't have a job. But you've seen now, maybe as we even look at that, we also try to look at going for specific skills. Like on the street here, you will see some photographer there.
Yes.
You will see some people, the content creators. So right now, also coming up with something called that you're going for single subject, or people call it partial qualification.
Yeah.
I may not be interested in taking the whole qualification or whole course. I can take part of the course. An example is a journalist.
Yes.
Within the journalism, there's people who are only doing photography.
Yes, that is true.
But you force this guy to take
writing,
mathematics. But true. The guy is only interested in the photos. So with the competence-based again, we've also pushed the element of partial qualification, that part that you're only interested in, and you assess again.
Become an expert in that.
In that part. And hold this conversation, we'll talk about TVETA coming up, work with both local examination body, KenQA coming up, also aligning the standardization, so that we can have also progression. Once you have all these qualifications, how do you progress now to the university? How do you progress now to the higher education? We talk about looking at the standardization, the KenQA framework, from all the way from level 1 to the highest level 10. That people should not be complaining about the education. So the education has been created where now people can specialize in different areas.
Interesting. Bona Kevin, I'd like to know, how is your connection or relationship with the likes of CAM, Kenya Association of Manufacturers, KPA, KNCCI, and the likes? And even the reason why I'm asking this is, how then do you help and facilitate these people to enter into the business market, particularly your graduates?
First of all, I want to appreciate, of course, the Ministry of Education. It has really tried. Like today we had a conversation looking at the standardization of all the qualification, where we are bringing the colleges on board through KNQA, qualification on board, examination on board, and the examiners on board, training institution on board. So we cannot work as an individual. We have to work as a team. Collective. Collective. Like I've seen, I think KEPSA is doing a very great job where they're getting young people and placing them in the industry. So by coming together, so what we do, we organize career welfare, career workshops, where now we bring the training institution, we bring the regulators, we bring the awarding bodies, all of them into one forum. Then we start the conversation. How can we help? And they even they created a link where a TVETA student will apply for placement opportunity. And when they apply, now the KEPSA comes in, or manufacturers comes in to place them to different industry support. Like probably you have a small industry you're doing there. I think there was a project where we were looking at, can I really remember, where young people were being placed in different industries. So if you're starting a small industry, probably production, what you people are doing, we attach young people here who in the training institution. And for these young people to come here, they also have, they're supposed to be attached to a training institution. So you get attached to the training institution, and also now you get attached to the industry. So we have a collaboration of all these people coming together.
All these players, all into one basket.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very beautiful. I mean, more reasons as to why one should really adopt TV and ICM for that matter. I'm going to get back to that and more details in a few. I'd like to know again. I don't know about you, and I'm just opening here my gadget so I can read some of your comments and some of your questions. But I would like to know, what are some of the external or global opportunities that come with having an ICM certificate? You know, this amongst many other questions or, inshallah, clarification after the break.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation. Verse of the day.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما إنها ساءت مستقرا ومقاما.
Are you looking to stay informed about the amazing stories within the Muslim community? Do you want to hear inspiring stories and insightful discussions about faith, culture, and current events? Tune in to the Muslim Insight, your weekly news updates where we tell you stories that matter to you. The Muslim Insight, informing, inspiring, every Friday from 8 a.m. with me, Zamzam Ahmed.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Enyi mlioamini, munapoitwa kuhudhuria swala ya Ijumaa, fanyeni haraka kuikimbilia, muache biashara zenu, hilo ni bora ikiwa mwelewa.
Isikilizeni kwa umakinifu khutba ya Ijumaa
ili uzidi kujenga imani yako na kupata faida nyingi ya siku hii.
Coming to you every Friday from Jamia Mosque, Nairobi.
Live on HorizonTV.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
A very good evening and welcome back to Live Real Talk. My name is Feisal Kassim and we are having a very amazing conversation right here in the studio. I'm joined by Kevin from ICM. My goodness, great stuff from ICM. If you haven't checked it out, better log in right now and check out ICM, because this is indeed the real solution to this monster we call unemployment in our country. Kevin, Karibu Baba.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about the global opportunities that come with ICM certification. How you mentioned about UK?
Yes.
Is it the only country? Are there any other countries that you guys are affiliated to? And what exactly then? How exactly are you affiliated? So how can someone with an ICM certificate benefit from these countries?
First of all, ICM as partner, as I said, ICM is an awarding body, an examination body, all the way originated from UK.
Yeah.
Before this country got independent, we were under the British.
The British, yeah.
And we were trying to learn from them. And there's a lot of things that they introduced. And one of the things that you can agree with me, that we cannot say that now the education we have, we need our own. Because we need to learn, we need to expose people out there. So ICM being a UK examination body, they also saw an opportunity that they can extend knowledge, they can extend skills, and that's why they spread to Kenya as one of the country. But currently, like myself, I'm privileged to support 10 countries in Africa as the regional director. But we are in 131 countries across. So the question you're asking, what will be the benefit? Number one is the global recognition. That when someone is moving with a certificate from here and going to Mauritius, going to Seychelles, going to Ghana and so on, going to all Canada and so on, the certificate are recognized already in those countries. You will not be told, I don't know this certificate. So it brings that opportunity that there's a recognition, and when there's a recognition, there's a progression.
100%. Oh my goodness. Yes.
So we are saying that we need to have an international recognized certificate so that it does not just lock yourself here. You know, there was a joke where someone tells you that I was born in this village, I went to school in this village, I got married in this village.
I probably not, I'm going to be married just there.
Thank you. So we are saying that right now, our country has become a global, the continent has become a global
village.
Global village.
Yeah.
You've been able to attend someone's church service and so on across. I know we used to watch different. Right now, we watch UK Premier League a lot.
It's back. GMU, brother. Yes, sorry, yes, exactly.
So we look at those global connection, and with this global certification or international certification, it gives someone an upper hand compared to the other people that will take probably a different qualification. So other than international recognition, employer recognition also, because employers have interacted with the alumni. So it means that if I'm moving to that space, I'll not be asked, okay, Kevin, you did ICM. So what is this ICM? Of course, now I've employed the other guy, have had like 10 staff.
10 staff who, of course, with this certificate.
With the same qualification,
so, there's no need to do the so-called background check. Besides, more than anything, you already know their competence.
Their competence. So, of course, now they become ambassador. So, we're looking at that, also employer recognition. And the other thing also, we've also brought in that we're also moving with the current advancement or development. You know, we are dealing with the Gen Zs right now. And they're moving away from now just writing. And we've brought on the competence skills that we are assessing the learner practically, so that when this learner leaves the institution, he can be self-employed. So we're also going with the competency, so that we're not just there to train. Then once we've trained, the learner gives you back the notes that you gave.
Oh my goodness! They say, oh that's so cramming has been one of the biggest issue in our education and examination system.
Exactly, and the biggest challenge is that when the learner leaves the space, leaves the institution, graduates, you see, he cannot do anything out there.
That's true.
And he starts telling you that, okay, there are no jobs. But how creativity that we've created in this learner, that when he lives here, he thinks on where can I settle? What skill do I have to start off? So they're looking at now, they only talk about probably they just need a boosting from the financial so that capital to start off. But they already have the idea. Because someone said, what is the greatest investment you can have? The greatest investment you can have is to equip yourself with skills and knowledge.
You're the prize.
You're the prize, yes.
That's true.
Once you are there, then you'll be talking about, I can do this. So the other support from the financial, you know, when people talk about capital, people only limit on themselves from the financial. But if you don't have an idea to pitch, how will you fund that idea? Thank you.
If you're not creative enough to see, or rather to position yourself, how different you can be in the market.
Exactly. And we've just been having a conversation here where you talk about, now you don't just see an event and you say this event can be one day. You can leverage on that and create more activities out of that so that you can extend. Rather than just having one event, you can say, before you get to that event, what can we do on Monday? What can we do on Tuesday?
So you're building up to that.
Exactly.
As a building up to that.
So that creativity, that critical thinking of the learner is what ICM is trying to create into the curriculum that we develop.
That's really amazing. That's really amazing. Tell us now more about ICM. How do we join in? So, for example, in very many perspectives, I'm a student, for example, a student who is watching back at home. They've cleared. They really want to have this ICM certificate, and they want to go to an ICM certified or accredited institution. How do they start? Where do they start? How do they go about it?
Thank you so much, and that's a very, very important question. ICM works with TVET authority.
Okay.
Look at like local examination bodies like the NEC, the CDAC, the CASNEP, and ICM is an international examination body. So first of all, we develop a curriculum in UK with different stakeholders. Then we present TVETA. So TVET authority are now standardize it and license so that then it can be consumed by TVET accredited training institutions.
Beautiful.
So we don't deal with the student directly, but we deal with the student through a TVET training institution. So that once the TVET has approved that qualification, it means that they've also looked at it. Now we can now give the training institution. So we encourage learners that will be interested in ICM, they have to work to a TVET training institution. And you see now we also become an outreach officer for support for TVET because we will only deal with a TVET training institution. And the training institution means that the institution has gone through an accreditation process so that it has qualified trainers, it has qualified equipment, and there are clear procedures. How do you get admitted? How is the training? How is the placement? How do they do the placement to the graduation? So all the learners that are out there, we encourage them, both government and private training institution, that so long as it's a TVET training institution, then you'll find ICM curriculum there. So we work through training institutions.
And do you work only with government, or you can work out of government? For example, if I have a college, for example, and I would like to adopt your curriculum, can we work directly? Can I reach out to you directly and then also get the certificate?
Thank you so much. I think that's a very important question, because what we are trying to ask is that, some time back, government had owned education. It's like it was guarded, the education was guarded. But right now, we have private training institutions. You know that we have private universities, and the students are still being funded. So we work with both private and government, so long as all of them, they have a license from TVET authority. So we'll not limit you. And like if you set up a college, you have your own college with a clear management, with clear standards on how to do education, then ICM invites you to partner and deliver our qualification. And in examination, we administer examination through those training institutions, so that we also work with the now invigilators who've been trained, who've been recruited, who've been trained, and they'll be attached to those colleges again. So what I would try to say that ICM does not work in isolation. We are part of the public. So in the curriculum, the certificate that we give that person is something that has been already tested. There's a lot of quality. There's a lot of security for that exam, that you're getting something that is valid, that will change, will be a life change.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very, 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 very interesting. Your words now to the students back at home, to those who want to come in now and get into the job market, whether through skills, conventional education, what's your advice to them?
My advice, first of all, let me talk to parents. I think parents.
I want to talk to the students.
Okay,
we go to the parents, we go to the government.
A student have to, right now, I think not really my challenge is just to encourage them that education is continuing, is a life changer. So when we finish high school, let's not sit at home and start talking about complaining, or I'm not being sponsored by the college. There are very, very many avenues for students to go to school. For me is challenge that can you identify the skill, that the area that you want to specialize in, be business area, be journalism area, technical area. So let's identify that area and make a step.
Yeah.
Make a step by making application. I've seen a number of, and if you can allow me, I've seen a number of institutions that have also partnered with sponsors, private.
Yes.
If you allow me, I can mention, like I've seen Amboseli Training Institution in Thika. They've even brought a sponsor on board who pays learner school fees.
Yes.
I've seen KIPS Technical College here. They have a sponsor who pays learners, those who are needy. They pay the education. So they talk about income shared.
Yeah.
So if someone is just at home and is not doing some research to find out how do you start your education, how do you apply, make application, either private or public institution, at least make a step. Even the TVET, government always advertise that now there'll be TVET intakes. So students need to make a bold step in number one, make application through TVET institution. I've seen in every constituency right now we have a TVET training institution.
Yeah.
So if you just sit at home and lament, I think you're making a mistake. So the young people who are at home, first of all, identify what skill do you think that you want to acquire, and that skill can be the career that you can identify. I think will be driven by your passion. If you're passionate about sports, if you're passionate about business, if you're passionate about hospitality, take a bold step and apply. Then now you'll try to professionalize what you have. So if you don't apply, and I like the fact that if someone even want to become a doctor and did not qualify, the education structure in Kenya through KNQA, we can start somewhere. You can start somewhere. You can start with that an artisan. You take your certificate, you take your degree, you take your diploma degree all the way to the master. So it's upon you, wherever you are. You don't say now, no, I'm satisfied with this.
So there are basically no limitations.
No limitation. Actually, the limitation is yourself.
Wow.
Yourself. And people are pumping in the fees. Of course, there are different challenges. Of course, there are some challenges that come with it. But right now, the opportunities, the education right now, it's so huge. It's so huge that so many people partnering with education, because why do people partner with education? Probably a company has identified opportunity in terms of a project they want to invest in, and they don't have expertise in that area. So what they do, they decide to sponsor a few people that they can use them as an expert.
Yeah.
I've had an opportunity to work on a project in Mtwara, Lindi, Tanzania, as a quality manager. And there were no people to work on the oil and gas. British had discovered oil and gas in Mtwara and Lindi, Tanzania. And there were no experts. So what they did, they had to retool or retrain people who had at least some knowledge or some certificate so that they can fit there. And these people that have been retooled, now they become trainers to train other people.
TOTs.
TOTs, so that they can become a trainer. So the challenge to the young people, all the graduates, make an application, be a private institution or a public institution, at least check the areas, be journalism and so on, make an application to join an institution.
Most important thing that I got from there is that it starts with you.
It starts with you.
Perfect. Beautiful. What about the parents?
Parents. I think you'll accept that it doesn't mean that if I'm a teacher, my son will want to be a teacher. So for me is let the expert in the industry guide our young people. Of course, you can still guide, but let us not force young people to take the course that you think is the best for their son or for their daughter.
Goodness. Sometimes I hear statements that those parents who sort of force their kids to take a certain career path,
yes,
they may be doing so because they themselves wanted to take that career path. But I had somewhere. I don't know.
So you mean that the parents want this guy now?
So they want to live their dreams with their children.
It cannot happen. And remember how the perception, how our parents...
Some of them, not all of them.
Yes. How your parents used to view life is totally different from how you used to view life. And even the social setup, totally different from what we have right now. And I can imagine now the generation to come.
Yeah.
These are young people that will not even now think about going to build in the village. They'll want to rent a house on top of the office.
Yeah.
So that when they finish, they can sleep.
Go. Yeah, that's true.
So if you are thinking that now, take a building and construction course so that you can build a house here in the village, no, you're not helping that young people. So for me is the parents should expose them to different career and also try to support where the courses that these young people have identified. Just for them is just to guide. that, okay, this space, this is what we have. Like right now, people talk about maybe hospitality. Take an example of hospitality. People thought of only work in hotel. But now we've come up with even cruise ship, where people are working a ship.
Yeah.
It's still hospitality.
Yes, yes. A very big market.
A very big market, yes, yes. People didn't even didn't imagine that cosmetology will become a big industry. I'm telling you. Right now, you talk about beauty. I know when you live here and go to Kinyozi, you pay a lot of money.
Aish, man.
It is an industry.
Somewhere in Nairobi, people are paying 10,000 shillings for a haircut.
Exactly. And some time back, people used to see it as for house managers and so on. People dropped out of school. But that's a skill that people have nurtured right now. It has come on top. Right now, talk about caregiver. Those are the courses that people are looking at. So I think for us, the parent, what we can do is let's present all these qualifications to our learners. Let's present all of them. Different fields. Let's look at different fields. Let's expose them this area and let them make a decision.
Wow.
Like the Harambee Stars, what they're doing through Chan right now.
Yes.
People have also changed their mind about sports.
Yes, yes.
That
yes,
sports
yes,
can pay again.
That's true.
So if your parent was like, no, my son cannot waste his time.
Yeah. So they played what? 5 games in and they're 5 million richer with a two-bedroom house.
You can imagine.
5 games.
5 games. So if that conversation can be taken to another level now with the leadership that we have around, that they can now invest in sports, talent.
Yeah.
We can go far. We can create industry that can earn us a living.
That's amazing. What about the government? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, these are the regulators, these are the people who are supposed to create the conducive environment for education, for learning, for business, for everything. What's your message now for government?
I think for the government, right now I'll say that the government is trying, but they need to do a lot, especially one of the biggest challenges I have right now, especially in the basic education or even the universities, the funding model. Why should we have money that the government gets money, give an area MP money, and that area MP again gives a parent, and the parent take the money back to the school, which is the government again.
And funny thing is just as the MP, the governor, the MCA, the president himself, deputy president.
We can put all this money together and the government pays teachers well, build schools,
and kill all these administration costs that you have here, this transaction cost.
If you were to send me 1,000, you were to send 10 people 1,000, and now you send me so that I can send the other guy, so the other guy can send the other guy. By the time we're getting to you, you'll have 200 shillings. So the transaction, the administrative that we've consumed for nothing. We're just creating rooms for corruption. So I think for me the government should look at the policies that we have. Of course, in terms of the education structure and so on, I see TVET is doing a great job. They're always on the ground. They're supporting training institutions. Actually, they complement. And if you don't have the capacity, they try to give you the capacity. I see and allow me to appreciate the PS for TVET education and Dr. Moria. She's doing an amazing job, and her team, they're doing an amazing job. And they're trying to see where they can fit, where they can get a lot of collaboration. They're supporting training institutions. They've gone to an extent where even the National Polytechnic have been given the mandates to even just issue the recognized certificate. So for them, they're doing a lot of work. So it's just a matter of now, I think, the
building and putting together the synergies and all that.
Government just to support, especially in the financial aspect, and bring more partners on board. I think in the education sector, we are headed in the right direction.
Sana.
Yes.
Digiangu, Bwana Kevin.
Yes.
It has been an amazing conversation, amazing evening right here on Live Real Talk.
I think on my side also just to say thank you so much for allowing me to talk to Kenyans out there. I think when you share this information, this show is watched with people from a different of the global. So thank you for the opportunity.
Asante sana.
Asante.
We really do appreciate it.
Asante.
And to you, our viewer, we also do appreciate for you keeping us company throughout the hour. 8:15 all the way right now to 9 o'clock, where we are calling it Wraps right here in HorizonTV studio. One of the key things that I have picked from this conversation tonight is that for students out there, it starts with you. And these are not just students who have cleared high school the other day. You and I, we can also be students. Whatever you're doing, whatever we are doing, there's always the aspect of reskilling or upskilling. You've had the examples of Mtoro and Lindi in Tanzania. That means there is no end to learning. My mom used to say that you should learn and learn and learn until the day, the last textbook, you turn the last page, the cover page you'd read, no books ahead. So until you come across that textbook, you should learn and learn and learn. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for keeping it live, Real Talk. See you next week, same place, same time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.